Welcome back to Just Another Game Review.
Oh, shit, I forgot.
What? Well, I guess welcome back to Amateur Game Review. We ain't got cool shirts no more. We got these sweet mics. A lot has changed on my vacation.
Vacation. Evidently, that's what they call jail. All right, right off the bat, I want to say, this is my opinion. Please don't be like Randy and yell at me.
It's 100% factual.
Yeah, that. Two, I am not having Final Fantasy XI on here, mainly because I never played it when it was out. So I don't think I can count that. I don't want to just throw it in and say, hey, I watched a YouTube video of this, and this is what they said.
Let's hear it. I'm ready.
All right, number 14. And I don't think you can argue with this one. I think this is pretty well set. Final Fantasy II.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I can appreciate that they tried to do something new, but hot off the heels of their fantastic Final Fantasy 1 at the time. But it's a
garbage.
Yeah, it's a on fire garbage can. 13, or second worst, if you want to call it that.
Okay.
Is I have. Let me first say that there's like a straight
cliff.
There's a cliff.
A cliff.
Yeah, we'll call it a cliff. Like these first like 5 or 6 games that I'm going to say are to me not good.
Okay.
And then it just hits a line, and they're close. They're pretty close. And then it just hits a line where everything above that is good and really close. But anyway, all right. Second worst to me, Final Fantasy III.
Yeah.
And that could be a personal thing. I know a lot of people actually like that one, but it didn't come over here until just a few years ago on Steam and
by then
cell
it's
phones.
too late to go back and play an old game. Like, fuck that.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to. I just couldn't get into it.
All
right, 12, and this one might be a little bit controversial because it's kind of a big deal. And that's Final Fantasy 1.
No, I'd throw that off a clip too.
But yeah, it's just, it hasn't aged super well, especially if you're playing like the actual original version. Like if you play like the Steam version, it at least makes it a little bit easier, like quality of life stuff.
I hate to break it to you, we're not aging well either.
I know. You see these bags? Number 11, Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, I'd have a little bit higher, but yeah, it's
a little bit higher.
It's not good.
God,
it was
you
bad.
know what? Watch the video on that one. It's something.
It's bad.
It's something. Number 10, Final Fantasy V. I had a really hard time if I wanted to put it above 8 or not because like the story was just
good.
It was just like whatever. The job system is awesome.
What's different about that story than any other Final Fantasy story?
Some of them grab you.
Huh?
The ones higher up on this list, they're actually good stories. Maybe.
If you put 6 above this and say it's got a better story than 5.
It does have a better story than 5. Oh my god. This is why we're going to argue. Number 9 on my list. And this one, I know we just said like the ones above it have better stories, but this one really doesn't. It's the stupidest story I've ever heard. And that's Final Fantasy 13.
Story doesn't make sense. I mean, 13 just got... It was just in a weird time they made it.
Yeah.
They were trying to find a new battle system. It just didn't work. And then...
No, see, that I actually liked the battle system. That's why I have it up higher than the ones that I've already put it above.
I mean, it was okay. Like, it didn't work, though. Like, they tried to make people use mechanics. Like,
yeah, like to get you to put, like, barrier and stuff like that on or get you to break the stagger stuff. I liked that they were trying something new.
Yeah.
And when it came out, I was super excited about it. I mean, I was let down, but... The hype around that game, it was beautiful at the time.
By the time 13 came out, every game had good graphics.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got good graphics, but so does every other game.
Yeah.
So, like, what else do you got besides that? They didn't have nothing.
They didn't have much at all.
Yeah, it was all bad.
Yeah. But, all right. Number 8. And this is the last one before we get to the cliff of where everything after this is actually good. There's like a big gap.
So this is the last cliff.
This is the last one I would deem a bad game.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 15.
Nah, I wouldn't say that's bad.
You like that?
I like 15.
I hate everything about 15. Story, dumb. Combat, let's just press X. It's so boring. Open world, kind of cool, except for it just felt like a big empty.
Yeah.
It was like emptiness to me. It didn't feel like a good open world.
Yeah, I agree with all that. It wasn't a bad game, though.
I hated the story, and that's what I mainly care about. Yeah, it was beautiful, but what did you just say? Everything's beautiful now.
Yeah, they are. All of them look good.
I actually liked, this is a hot take, I liked the movie that came with it better than I liked the game. And the movie wasn't that good, so if that tells you anything.
15, was a good game. It wasn't great. And it's crazy. They worked on it for what, like 10 years or some shit? Like it was 13
I don't know.
versus...
I think they actually worked on it for like a month, but 10 years they just kept throwing crap in the trash can and starting over. Then the last month they were like, we got to do something, guys.
I think it was overhyped.
It was overhyped.
Like,
I was super excited.
Our expectations were up here. So even though it's it's a decent game, it's an average game for the standards of games out right now, or when that came out. So like it was a decent game, but we're all up here, so well, it sucks because it's not amazing. Like, just because it ain't amazing don't mean it's not a good game.
Let me tell you how hyped I actually was for this game.
I'm here.
My wife doesn't buy me gifts. Like, I mean, like she does for like Christmas and stuff. I was so hyped for this game that she actually got the hint and bought me it. That hype. Here's where I think you're going to really start to disagree with me.
Probably.
And that's because I think this is your number one. Final Fantasy X.
Oh my god. What?
Yeah. Titus he is so whiny, and I just did not like him.
There are some cringe-worthy moments.
Yeah.
And Titus ain't even the worst character in that game.
I know.
Yuna was terrible.
I know. Like, there's not cringe-worthy moments in that game. There's moments that aren't cringe-worthy, and everything else is just cringe.
You didn't like the story?
I thought the story was just weird. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but the outcome and stuff, the ending is like, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
But the rest of it is just confusing and fake laughter and.
Final Fantasy X was the very first Final Fantasy to use voice actors.
Oh yeah,
and it suffered because of it.
Well, looking back now, back then when it came out, I played this one when it actually came out, and I thought the voice acting was great, except for there's a couple moments where it's like.
You had great voice acting
for the time.
It was
a lot better voice acting than Final Fantasy IX. It was a huge step up.
I mean, except for bad voice actors, but oh my god, you're stupid. Anyway,
agree to disagree.
Go ahead.
Next. No, it had its good moments though. I'm sure we'll eventually review it. Also, I'll save like all my thoughts for that. But
it's a great game.
All right, Final Fantasy IV, or if you had a Super Nintendo, Final Fantasy II on Super Nintendo, but.
I like to.
But which I have. I keep forgetting that. Yeah, here you go. Final Fantasy II for Super Nintendo, but it actually Final Fantasy IV.
The fact that it's on Super Nintendo, it should have been on the cliff.
No. The two that are for Super Nintendo are two of the best Final Fantasy games.
When's the last time you played a Final Fantasy on Super Nintendo?
All right, I will say this. I did play Final Fantasy IV not that long ago, but it was on DS. It wasn't on Super Nintendo.
Exactly.
It was the DS remake, which I also have, but that game is a good game. Story, great.
So you're saying a Super Nintendo game is better than a PS2 game?
I don't think see, this is where we always disagree about this. Randy's ageist. Great characters, great classic combat system, jobs. You got like two types of people with the job system. One type likes that you can make any character anything. And then the other type, which is me, I like when characters have defined roles, like Sid is your tank, and
like in 9.
9.
Everything's locked in, or 10,
mm-hmm.
which should be higher.
Or 4, where Kane is your dragoon and that kind of stuff. I like that already. But
anyway,
great characters, great game, classic combat system. I like
great characters, great game, terrible choice.
Anyway, number 5, very first game I ever bought with my own money.
Ooh.
Final Fantasy 12.
Really?
Yes. And I love Final Fantasy 12. A lot of people don't.
I love 12.
A lot of people hate the combat system and the MMO style.
No, I love it.
One of my favorite things about Final Fantasy is they take risks for the most part. Like, their games take risks. I mean, say what you want about 2 and their combat system. It's trash. I already said it was the worst one. But at least they tried something.
Yeah.
And with 12, I have the same thing. And I think it actually worked. I like the combat system in it. Literally, the only reason it's not higher is I don't like the story.
Of 12?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's hard to follow. It's very political. And Bosch or Ash should have been the main character.
Yeah.
And that has always bothered me.
Vaughn?
I don't even know why Vaughn and Penelope were there.
No, I don't either.
Still don't. I Googled it. No one else knows. But anyway, I'll move on. 12, great game. All right, number 4 is Final Fantasy IX.
I agree with that.
It's an amazing game. And I struggled. Like, I was like, should I put it higher? I had it as high as 2, like, while I was making this list. And I ultimately decided it was the 4th best one. But I love that game. It was like at the time it was a throwback to older Final Fantasies, and they just nailed it.
Yeah, because they botched 8 so bad. Like they had 7, and they were like, "All right, we need because 7 was so popular, right? We need another one out right now." So they put out 8,
and 8 tried to go some kind of weird futuristic / whatever.
Yeah. So 9 they did the same thing with. It's like a year after 8 came out, they just pushed it out.
Yeah.
So I thought it was going to suck too, but they actually did a really good job.
9 was the very first Final Fantasy I actually completed.
You just beat it last week?
No, I beat it a while ago. But anyway, it was the first one I actually beat, and for not just for that reason, but it's just a great game.
Yeah.
Right? Number 3.
I know it's gonna be wrong.
Final Fantasy 14.
So why would you put this on your list, but not 11?
I didn't play 11, so I didn't feel comfortable.
So you should even be making a list. You haven't played them all.
Oh my god, I didn't play one. Anyway, Final Fantasy 14.
I agree with you.
MMO, mainline game, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's a great game. And I just love that all of the references to old Final Fantasies and stuff like that. So it's like not only a great game, but it's a nostalgia trip too.
It is.
Number 2 is Final Fantasy 6.
No way. It shouldn't be that high.
Why not?
Because it's a Super Nintendo game.
See, that is your biggest problem. When we reviewed Super Metroid, you're like, great game, 7.2. You're like, why? Because it's a Super Nintendo game, man. No, it's a great game. You're a hater. Final Fantasy VI, amazing game. Literally, it has, I think, the second best story, which is why it's second to me. The second best story in the game. Honestly, I think it might be the best Final Fantasy. And the only reason that I put spoilers 7 ahead of it is because the nostalgia. It's not a spoiler. People can count. They know there's only one left. But nostalgia is literally probably the only reason I put 7 ahead of it, because I didn't play 6. I didn't play.
No drum roll for big reveal at the end.
7. I played 6 like only a few years ago for the first time. Like maybe like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I played 7 when I was like, I don't know, when it come out, 97?
Yeah.
I played it in probably 98. I had that one extra year of development time because it was only 7. And then I played it and I was like, from the moment it came on, I was like, oh God, we'll get to that. Anyway, 6, great.
Yeah.
Characters, amazing. I want to say the best villain ever, but nostalgia tells me it's Sephiroth. But Kefka literally blows up the fucking world and becomes a god. Like, middle point of the game, thought it was the end of the game. He just kills everything, blows up the world.
Every Final Fantasy has their antagonist is pretty much the same. Like, they're an asshole for a little bit.
No, Sephiroth tried to blow up the world. Kefka did. That's the difference.
Everyone's an asshole. They're like, you know what? I don't want to be an asshole anymore. I want to be God. I want to be a God asshole.
All right.
Then they do it. Then you kill them. And that's what happened.
Maybe, but I still disagree with you. And, well, whatever.
Anyway.
Final Fantasy VI, amazing. And obviously, since I already said what it was, but you already knew what it was anyway. Final Fantasy VII, to me, that's my number 1. Well, see, why are you making these faces? I thought you would at least agree on that one.
I do.
Do you? Honestly, it's mostly nostalgia for me.
No, it's a good game.
Oh, it is a good game, but I mean, the reason it's number 1, if I played 6 when it came out, I think 6 would have beat it.
No.
For me.
No.
Yeah.
No.
6 is so good. You're just a hater. But.
Really?
Yeah, you are.
What's the most sold Final Fantasy ever?
Because there's a lot more haters out there.
Okay. Numbers don't lie, Zach.
Yes, numbers do lie. Go look at IGN subscribers and then look at ours. We're way better. Anyway, 7. Not only does it have that nostalgia of like when that game came out, my God, was it beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
But I love the characters. I love the story. Not to mention there's the remake, which we reviewed, is awesome. But like, I'm not even counting that. Like, it has nothing to do with this. Just the original 7.
So like the remake, right now I'd put above 7.
Mm-hmm.
But I put an asterisk beside it because I don't know how the rest of it's going to turn out.
Yeah, oh my God. We'll get, watch the review to that. But Jesus. It's just an amazing game. Like, I think about it and all kinds of memories come back up.
Yeah, I agree with 7. 7 was really good.
Yeah.
It was the first one I played, so maybe that has something to do with it. But
you didn't. you didn't hate my picks as much as I thought you would. Maybe 10.
I hate them a lot more than you think.
You're just keeping it inside?
Yeah.
You're slowly dying. Every time I said a number, Randy just got shorter and shorter. He was like, oh, that's wrong.
There you go.
But anyway, that's my list of Final Fantasies. Let me know where you disagreed with me or where you might have agreed with me down below in the comments. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us out. And we have like 62 subscribers, so we need all the help we can get. Yes. We got to put money on Randy's books. So,